Hello everybody, welcome back to the playthrough. So, I know this is a bit different, we don't usually have these kind of cold style intros, but I just wanted to put a quick message at the start of today's episode, which just lets you all know that, unfortunately, there is about an hour worth of missing footage in between the end of our previous episode, so just after we defeated Yagluth, the Plains boss, and the start of this episode, which is where we are going to start making our way into the Mistlands. I'll give you a quick explanation. Basically, my recording software corrupted the file whilst I was recording, and when I went to stop the recording and take a break, it just wasn't... It saved a video file that was about 9 gigabytes in size, so it was about an hour's worth of footage, but every time I tried to open it in my media player, it just wouldn't work. The media player would just keep flashing and not actually play the file, and then my editing software, I use DaVinci for those interested, every time I drag the file into there, it doesn't recognize it as a video file. It doesn't even come up in the list if I try and add it manually. So yeah, unfortunately, my apologies, there is about an hour's worth of missing footage, so our original forays into the Mistlands are gone, and a lot of the early crafting as well that I've done, so the wisp things and stuff like that is also gone, so I do apologise, but I will, obviously in today's episode, I will explain all of that as we go through it. Anyway, without further ado, let's start the episode. Hello everybody, and welcome back. Again, I know I just gave you a quick explanation as to the missing footage from before, so let's crack on with it. You'll notice straight away that I now have a new little wisp friend floating around my face. He's a nice little friend. So let me give you a quick rundown. So this is the Wisp Light. It is a bound wisp to guide you through the thickest of mists. This is the item you'll need to go and explore Mistlands, especially the misty parts. Now, unfortunately, with the Wisp, it is an item that takes a slot away from, say, your girdle or your wishbone or anything like that. In order to make the Wisp Light, you have to build one of these first. This is a Wisp Fountain. The Wisps demand darkness. So to build this, you need some stone, and you need one of the Wisp items that you got from killing Yagluth, the Plains boss. You build that, you wait for nighttime, and then at nighttime you'll notice wisps will slowly start appearing at the fountain. You can then activate those wisps and pick them up. They're just a small little blue, little light ball of blue and white light almost. So you'll have those in your inventory, and then to craft a Wisp Light, the actual activatable item that you'll need, you need 1 silver bar and 1 wisp, and that's it, there you go. I would also recommend, with the wisps, I would recommend collecting them. And if you keep your fountain up, and as you come back to your base at night time, if you see wisps around there, just go and pick them up and store them, because you will need them for wisp torches and stuff like that as well going forward. We have also made a foray into the Mistlands itself. We've built a portal, and we have started collecting a few items from some creatures that we've seen. So you'll have seen in our meat chest we had some seeker meat and some hare meat, I believe it was. We also have these mage caps, which are a new mushroom type. Now, this one has a new thing on it, so you'll see it says health, stamina, and then Iter underneath. Iter is a new resource in the Mistlands. It's technically magic or mana, but we will cover that in more detail when we actually get further into the Mistlands. Excuse me. We have also collected one of these, which is a carapace, a plate of chitinous or chitinous armor. That is an item from one of the new enemies. You will need those, I believe you need those for the new armor type. And what else do we have? There we go. We also have scale hide, which is collected off the rabbits. So whilst we were sailing around the Mistlands, and we actually got off the boat a couple of times and went onto the Mistlands itself, we saw a couple of hares running around. They're kind of friendly animals. Well, not friendly, but they're animals that you can kill. You get hare meat and scale from them. And you can also see we now have chickens. So we have a chicken, or technically a chick. As soon as you have defeated Yagluth, the first thing I'd recommend you do is obviously build the fountain and get yourself a Wisp Light, but then also you need to take 1,500 coins, so 1,500 coins, to the merchant, not the clothier, the actual merchant himself, and buy yourself an egg. And the reason you want to do this is so that you can start breeding chickens as soon as possible. With a chicken pen, you don't need it to be too big, but I believe the one I've built there I need to change. Before I go into detail about that, we just want to go and have a look at the Yagluth boss buff. There we go. So this is Yagluth's boss buff. Works the same as the others. 5-minute ability with a 20-minute cooldown, and its bonus gives you resistance to fire, cold, or frost, and lightning damage, which is very, very useful. We're going to want that. But I think for now we're going to stick with bone mass, just because it's a physical damage reduction, and a lot of the earlier creatures in the Mistlands actually do a lot of physical damage. So we'll take bone mass for now. But yes, with the chicken pen, I do need to do some work on it. I just kind of stuck in a rudimentary pen for it right there. It doesn't need to be massive. What you need to do is you need to place the egg from your inventory on the ground, but then you also need a source of fire nearby. I was hoping the bonfire right here would actually work, but it doesn't. So I believe... Actually, I think it is, I think it is close enough. I believe we could take it down. But we did actually have a little campfire built next to that wall to help the egg hatch. We had to help the chick hatch from the egg, and it needed a fire source nearby. So when you place the egg on the floor, you'll notice that it says the egg is cold or the egg is warm or something like that. If it says the egg is cold, it won't grow into a chick and then hatch, so you'll have to actually have a fire source nearby. One other thing, here is some Yggdrasil wood. There is a new type of wood from the Mistlands, and this is it. We have gathered some already. Don't worry about all of this stuff. I know I'm rushing through it. It's my apologies that I'm kind of rushing through it. I will cover all of this in more detail when we actually go to the Mistlands properly. But the first thing I want to make, just because we have some of this Yggdrasil wood and plenty of black metal iron, or black metal bars, is we do have a new pickaxe level, a black metal pickaxe, which is stronger and better than the iron pickaxe, and I'm going to build one and take that with us, because we're going to need it for some things that we gather in the Mistlands. So yeah, once you have a fire source that's close enough to the chicken's pen in order for the egg to grow and then hatch into a chick, you need to feed that chick with some seeds. You only need one, you don't have to have two in order to breed them, you only need one chick. And you need to leave those seeds on the ground, and the chick will obviously eat them, and then it'll lay more eggs. Those eggs will then eventually turn into more chickens. So that is how you can reproduce your chickens from eggs and stuff like that. And then you can also gather just the raw eggs themselves, so you can actually gather the eggs themselves, and they will also play a part in terms of new recipes and stuff like that. So just keep an eye on your chicken pen. Now, one thing I'm going to do later on in the playthrough is I'm going to look a bit more detail into the actual chicken pen that we've built and the mechanics around how it works properly, because I believe I've kind of just shoved it in there and it's not fantastic. So yeah, that was one of the other things you missed as well, is that I forgot to I actually built the chicken pen and stuff, and obviously we lost that footage. I was so angry when that happened. It really was, the corrupted file. I've still got the file on my actual hard drive with all my other videos and recorded software. It literally just has a title on it that says, "This footage is corrupted. Put a mention on it of it at the start of the next episode." Oh, it was so silly. So yeah, I know that was a very fast-paced and a lot of information dumping right there. I do apologise for all of that. I was very, very annoyed that happened. It wasn't like the previous episode where I just made a mistake and forgot to press the record button. It was just the footage, the software itself. I don't know what happened. It just corrupted. I think there might have been an error or something with the OBS, because I use OBS to record, and it just corrupted it. And I was just really disappointed because we lost all of that footage. But one thing I did learn from that, because obviously the first thing I did after discovering that happened was to research the issue and to try and work out ways to solve it. I worked out that there is a setting I can change in OBS that allows me to record in a file called, it's an MKV file. I don't know much about it, so I won't go into detail, but essentially what it does is it records two separate video files. As you're recording, it's recording as an MKV, which means that if the footage crashes, if the software crashes, if your PC crashes, anything like that, you can still use an MKV file, so you wouldn't lose any of that footage. But obviously you'd have to pick up from where you left off from where the actual crash happened. But then when you finish your recording and actually stop it, it will then save a separate video file, which is an MP4, which is the video file I prefer to use. But it's a layer of protection so that you've got a spare, like a backup, just in case your footage or your software does corrupt in some way, and you don't lose all that recording that you have done already, which I quite like that setting. It's really good. So yeah, hopefully that should prevent any further footage losses in future. But yeah, that was not the greatest way to start off our Mistlands exploration, with missing it, essentially. You guys don't get to see any of the building or the progression that I made. I'm actually quite glad that we're in the Black Forest right now. What we're doing right now is we're just gathering some more Grey Dwarf eyes. I'm kind of just exploring this area. Because it's nighttime, we should have plenty of Grey Dwarfs in the area to kill, rather than having to go find one of their nests. But there is a Grey Dwarf spawner somewhere that we can go and check out. If we want to kill more Grey Dwarfs. I'm just collecting their eyes. We need some more eyes to build another portal system, because even though we have a Mistlands portal, which is in the Black Forest just to the south of the Mistlands, this is on the far northern part of our Plains Island, so this is the Mistlands that we've sailed around, but we haven't explored the actual land itself. We have that portal up there, but obviously because I want to have a proper Mistlands base, I also need a portal for that base. So I'm just gathering some more Grey Dwarf Eyes so that we can build more portals when we need them. Yeah, that was an interesting start to the episode. I do apologise. I'm currently sat here, obviously recording this audio and also thinking to myself, what the heck am I going to cover? What am I going to put at the start of the video for about 1 minute and 20 seconds whilst I do that little intro bit? I'm going to have like a little background picture or something. I don't just want a black screen and me talking over it, so we're going to have some kind of footage to put there. I might just record some kind of like filler footage or something and put that underneath it just so there's something there, so you're not just looking at a black screen whilst I'm talking about the mistake or the error that happened. I am really excited to get into the Mistlands. I'm really excited to show you the Mistlands. All I did for the portal was I just sailed up far north on the Plains Base island that we've got. So where the island where our Plains Base is located, I just sailed far north of there where the Mistlands was that we'd already sailed round. I found the Black Forest that was on the southern border of the Mistlands and I just built the portal there. Just so we've got somewhere close by, because obviously now that we're stepping into a new biome, and this new biome is very difficult, I'm expecting to die a few times, so I wanted a portal nearby so that I could get back to my stuff quite quickly rather than having to sail from the plains or from our base, so that makes life a bit easier for us. Excuse me, got a bit of a frog in my throat right now. We are actually catching up as well. I'm really excited. I'm really excited, actually. I'm quite happy for the future episodes because we are catching up. I was looking at I date and timestamp all of my recordings. I believe OBS does it anyway, but I always make sure that when I title them, I always date stamp them as well, so I know when they were recorded. And this one was recorded in July 2024, so nearly 7 months ago now. I actually think it was, yeah, 3rd of July 2024. And it's now the 2nd of February, which is when 7th of February is when I'm recording this audio, so I'm only about 9 months behind, sorry folks, or 8 months behind. There's an enemy inside that wall who keeps trying to attack me, but I can't see him. Is he inside the... It is, it's another one that's trapped inside the rock here. We've seen this before, where we had a Grey Dwarf who was trapped inside here, inside a rock. That's such an unlucky spawn location. Oh, he's there. Right, I see you now. Right, can we get him? Look at him, he's kind of glitched. Die. There we go. Yeah, so our next episode after this one will be based in, I believe it was December time, so this is the more recent footage, but this was the stuff I started recording after the Bog Witch update, so we are going to get pretty close to going to the swamp and seeing the Bog Witch, and I can showcase all of the new like mechanics and stuff like that. It's very exciting. I'm very excited. But obviously the issue there as well is that I've just started in the Mistlands, so I kind of need to progress through that as well, so it might be a few, like 5 to 10 more episodes before we actually cover the Bog Witch stuff. But I have left myself a reminder to do that as well, so just so you're aware. It's coming up very soon. I'm very excited. We're getting there. We are almost at our goal. We're almost at the Ashlands. Now, I'm not going to continue doing this for much longer, because obviously I know that with this being our first episode after defeating Yagluth, a lot of you are probably expecting, why the heck are you not going to the Mistlands? You've already lost an hour's worth of footage of you being in the Mistlands, so you probably should at least go back once before the end of this episode. Don't worry, we will head back there. We have an easy way back there now, so we can easily go back there. I'm not sure why I've still got my wisp on, but I guess I'm just kind of showcasing it to you. This is what it does. It kind of follows you around. It's very predictive in terms of its movement. As you can see, as I'm running forward, it's kind of staying ahead of me. But as I move left and right as I'm travelling, it also does the same, so it's pretty cool. It's very reactive in that way. And it does also act as a light source at night time, so if you want to go out and explore at night time and you don't want to have to carry a torch, there you go, take a wisp light. Right, I think we're pretty much done killing Grey Dwarfs for now. There aren't very many of them in the daytime, so we're just going to head back. I don't really want to go to the Grey Dwarf spawner. I should have enough on me, I hope. At the very least, I want at least one portal, but one portal system, so that's 20 eyes, but I wouldn't mind having more than that. I suppose we could take down the Yagluth portal, but I don't really want to, because It'd be nice to have the option to go back to his spawner and fight him again if we ever wanted to in the future. Let's just say we have a big invasion at our base and we end up losing all of the wisp fountains and the materials for them. We could just go back and kill him again and get some more. Alright, anyway, let's go back home. We have some Great Off Eyes. We are going to have to do some more farming of those at some point. I know that much at least. But what do we have? We have 10 of them. And we've got 10 in the inventory. Perfect. There we go. We've got 20. That's exactly what we needed. It's the minimum of what we needed. We have our new black metal pickaxe. We've got our wisp fountain outside. We have our top level of food. We've got some early gatherings of materials from the Mistlands, but I won't cover those in more detail until we actually see them as well. I don't want to spoil it too much. Let's put the stone in here. We've got 75 wood. Nice. Let's dump that in the chest. Oh, yes, that was the other thing I did in that hour worth of recording. I gathered a boatload more wood because we needed coal to obviously smelt down this black metal scraps. We did smelt quite a bit of the black metal, so we've got about, I don't know, a couple of hundred of it so far. Right, so we need 40 fine wood. There we go. I am hoping that we might find an area to build a portal in the actual Mistlands rather than on the edge, so that we can start finding an area for our base. I might have actually marked that on the map, to be honest with you. I might have found an area that says that actually works for a base. But we'll just put the original portal down here. We're going to call it Mist Base. Yeah, Mist Base with a capital B and a capital M, so we know how to spell it when we go through and build the other side of it. But yeah, let's go back. There are several things in the Mistlands that we need to be paying attention to. You will notice that I've put a few markers on the map for certain things that I've found. Just going to quickly rest and get our rested bonus back. We should probably eat some food as well, considering I'm sat here on 25 health. That's not going to work out very well if we try to explore on that much health. We'll probably get one shot by literally everything. There we go. Give it a few more seconds and let our health regen. There we go, 95 isn't too bad. Should be enough for us to start the initial foray. There's our Wisp Fountain again, still demands darkness. I will hopefully try and get some footage of that recorded at night time as well. And I think there is some actually. I think I remember recording some where I was... You do need to collect more than one wisp. I would highly recommend collecting as many of them as you can, so just keep your fountain going and collect them every now and then. If you're at base at night time, just collect a few of them. Because you can build torches that you can place on the ground with the wisps that actually provide wisp light in an area, so that you can actually uncover quite a large section of mist from the Mistlands, say if you want to build a base or something like that. But yeah, anyway, this is where I sailed to. I basically parked up a little bit away from the actual biome itself, just to avoid having any monsters spawn and attack us, because we didn't want to build it right next to the mist. As you can see on the right hand side, you can see the mist there already. Just going to make our way inland a bit more so we don't have to jump over any water. Obviously we have our top level everything. We have our mace, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Porcupine. We have our sword, our shield. We have everything's black metal now. The only thing that isn't upgraded is the bow. I think the bow is still from swamp level. Or is it mountain level? I think we needed silver to build it. Really? Skeleton? Bro, come on. I'm heading to the Mistlands. I really don't need to fight one of you right now. Go away. Okay. Oh, there's a tiny bit of swamp here too. That's awkward. I don't want to be in the swamp. Go away. Right. Here is what the wisp light does. There you go. You can see as you walk into the mist, the wisp light clears it all away. It's brilliant. I love it. As you can see, there is a hare running away from us there. Oh, my apologies, I just dropped something. There is a hare. There are quite a lot of hares in the Mistlands. So hares are a bit like deer. They're not friendly creatures, but they won't attack you. As soon as you see them, as soon as you get close to them, they will just run away. I would recommend killing some of them, though, because you will want some of the hair meat and the scale hide for certain things. This right here is an Yggdrasil shoot. I don't think we can chop these down, or I think if you chop those down, you can just get basic wood from them. But you can chop down Yggdrasil trees, which are just larger versions of these, which give you the Yggdrasil wood. Obviously, it's just basically wood from the world tree. There are also some things we need to pay attention to. Aha, this is one of them. This is an ancient sword. So this is basically a giant sword, obviously. But one thing you can do with this, if you use the pickaxe on it, I believe you have to have a black metal pickaxe for this, but if you use a pickaxe on it, just give it a few moments, it's going to take a few swings, there we go. It's dropped a copper scrap. But it doesn't just drop copper scraps. We keep digging away, hopefully we'll get some others. There we go. Copper scrap. So that's basically the same as an iron scrap. If you smelt that down, you'll get a copper bar. There you go. You'll see there as well. We've also dropped iron scraps as well. So this is something I mentioned in a previous episode about how when you get to later stages of the game. Oh, I tried to kill that hare with the pickaxe and missed. It's a 1-star hare. Jeez. Yeah, so I was saying when you get to later stages in the game, they actually give you some ways of getting the lower level stuff without having to worry about going back to collect it. And this is one of the things I was talking about. Aha, this is something else right here. So this is a giant ribcage of petrified bone. This is something else you need your pickaxe for. So if you mine this with your pickaxe, again, because it's current level, it's going to take a few swings. There we go. Black marble. This is a new build piece. We also get some new upgrades with it as well. Got black marble walls. You've got black marble floors. Different shapes of them. You've got quarter spires. You've got staircases, plinths, all kinds of good stuff. An archway as well. This is probably what I'm going to build our base out of. You've got a black marble throne, a black marble table. Wow, I might build those actually, see if we get more comfort from them. But yeah, when we build our Mistlands fortress, which is essentially what I'm going to build, a fortress, I'm going to build it out of this black marble stuff. We'll probably intersperse some stone and some wood features in there, but most of it's going to be this black marble, because honestly, when you see it, you will see some pre-generated or randomly generated black marble buildings from the dwarves, or the dverge, I don't know how you pronounce it, the dwarves that we saw in a previous episode. They have some pre-generated or some randomly generated black marble buildings, and they are awesome. The black marble looks so good. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, I'm really excited to build a big fortress out of that and have everything in there, all our crafting stuff and things like that. It's very exciting. I'm very, very happy to be here. Oh, what are these? Oh, hello. Dverge. Aha, these are a new type of vegetable, Jotun puffs. Here we go. We have 3 Jotun puffs. Swollen with magic, these golden orbs bubble from the ground where the Jotun fell. The Jotun are the big giants that we're basically mining the body parts and weapons of. But yes, what I was originally talking about before we started mining the ribcage was that the ancient weapons and ancient armour that you'll find around the Mistlands are the ways, the systems and the methods that the game has put in for you to get the lower end like metals like copper and iron. I think you can get tin as well, without having to go back and collect them from their biomes. So it saves you having to go back to the Black Forest to get copper and tin, or the swamp to get iron. It's brilliant. I love it. And you actually get quite a lot of them from them as well, so I'm pretty happy with that. These are the mage caps. So we have seen these in a previous episode. Mage caps are another food type. Obviously you saw the kind of mushrooms essentially. You saw those in my food chest back at base at the start of the episode. So these are the ones that have the iter connected to them. So I'm pretty sure that any recipe you make, any food recipe you make with those mage caps will all have some kind of some level of iter connected to them. Now, iter is basically mana. Yes, there is magic in the game in Mistlands. Oh, here we go. Yggdrasil shoot or an Yggdrasil tree. That's one of the larger versions. If I was to cut that down, I would get the wood. And here, you can see one of the problems with trying to explore the Mistlands, because the majority of the Mistlands is all these like huge, massive kind of mountainous kind of spikes and stuff and big rock formations and stuff that kind of shoot up into the sky. You have to climb a lot, and it's a pain in the backside. So yeah, make use of that big stamina bar. Aha! I haven't marked this on the map, so I will mark this one. This is an ancient root from the tree Yggdrasil. We need to put that down. You can see I've marked 2 of them on the map already. We'll just put this one down as well. Now these roots will give us a very important crafting material, a very, very important crafting material, but later on down the line. So for the time being, I don't even have the material needed to actually build the item that makes me harvest the material from this root yet. So I'm just marking them all for now, because we'll need to make sure we've got a few of those nearby to our base so that we can use them when we need them. There is a specific item we're looking for in order to harvest that material. It's essentially sap. If this is a tree root and we're going to be harvesting something from it, it's sap. We're looking for some sap. But we need a specific item in order to do that, which we have to get from the dwarves. We're going to have to get that from the dwarves, so yeah. We'll need to hopefully find one of their areas in the future. I believe we have one marked on the map already, but we're obviously going to pay attention to see if we can find any more of them. Ah, there's another dwarf up there, and he stood next to a wisp kind of torch lantern thing. There he is. Dverga Rogue. Dverga? I don't know how you'd pronounce that. Is that a human? Yes, I am a human. Well, I'm a Viking. As close to a human as you could get, I assume. Yeah, you can see, honestly, another thing I want to showcase is the very small radius of vision that you actually get from this wisp light, and how sometimes if you go sprinting off, the wisp takes a while to catch up to you, so you're actually just running into mist quite blindly sometimes. Yeah, oh wow, that is very high. We need to be very careful dropping down this. Oh, no. Oh, okay, that was close. I saw these Jotun puffs and wanted to grab them. Oh, that was dangerous. Don't worry, there is an item that we can make at some point in the future that will help us with that particular problem. Okay, where can we build this table? There's bloody swamp right there. I can see that kind of like green, misty kind of glowing effect off in the distance. That's a swamp area. Okay, so we're just going to call this Mist Base. We're just going to chuck this down so I can pop back home if needs be. We should also probably build a chest here so we can dump stuff right next to it, because obviously we can't take the copper or the iron scraps back with us. There we go. So let's pop back and put some stuff in chests and things like that. Just organise our inventory a bit more and get some carry weight back. Obviously, because we have to use the Wisp Light to see in the Mistlands, we can't use our girdle, our Meganord's girdle, so we don't get the increased carry weight. I'm thinking about ending the episode soon, but I'll give it a couple more minutes. Oh no. Oh no. Wow, 2 attacks in this such a short, well, not a short period of time actually. This is the worst one. It's a troll attack. Hello, troll. Hello. Why are you attacking me? Why are you attacking me? Wow, look at how little damage you do, troll. Get staggered, sit down. Right, next. There's going to be more trolls. There are going to be several trolls attacking us at once, and we need to be on our toes. Oh, there's another one over there. Okay, now that we have your attention, let's drag you over here and try and find any more. Really? I was just considering logging off and ending the episode, and as soon as I think about that, the game's like, you know what? You haven't fought trolls yet in an attack. So this is an attack that I was hinting to earlier in the playthrough, but much earlier in the playthrough. This is one of the reasons why you need to build walls and stuff like that, and be very careful when you're back at base about any possible attacks that spawn, because if this one spawns, say if you've just made it into the Black Forest, or if you've just made it into the swamp or something like that, and a troll attack spawns, it's going to be devastating, because you're going to be taking on 2 to 3 trolls at once if you get their attention, and if you don't have any kind of protection, or if they get into your base, they are most likely going to take out everything. They can hit and deal a lot of damage. Oh, okay, the shaking begins to fade. Oh, thank Christ, that's over. Woo, wow, that's incredibly lucky that ended when it did. That could have been very devastating for us. We could have had our base destroyed. Yeah, you better go away. Disappear into a puff of smoke, you annoying shit. I swore. My apologies. Yeah, that is one of the attacks that can be devastating earlier on in your playthrough. I would even say up until like the mountain it's very dangerous, because they deal so much damage in an area with their attacks. That they deal so much structure damage as well that they can absolutely destroy a base in a few swings. But yeah, that's a troll attack. That was horribly timed as well. But yeah, we are going to end the episode very shortly. I was just wanting to... today's episode is basically just me covering all of the stuff that we missed from the earlier recording that I did, and then having a bit of a foray into the Mistlands and showcasing some stuff to you. But obviously we need to start making proper progress in the Mistlands and start thinking about building a base and stuff like that. But for now, we are just going to call the episode here. So, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Apologies for the massive information dump, but hopefully I shall explain things better in future episodes. Thank you all for watching, and I shall catch you in the next episode.